last mother's speech in Las Vegas, what really struck me most was mother said, Jewish people, people of Israel, and Judaism rejected Jesus because they could not understand the essence of Jesus, who really Jesus was. So, as you know, 19, can you, Akira-san, True Parents declared Cheon 2004, October 3rd. And prior to that declaration, there's numerous proclamations and the condition was met. And this is 1993 to 1999. I'm not going through, of course. More than 20 different conditions and the proclamation was made. Literally numerous and numerous and numerous. And after that proclamation of the completion of true parents' providential responsibility, then God's coronation was declared, and the next 4 years, another numerous condition and proclamation was made. So, as we all know, true parents did set the highway to be able to establish kingdom of God here on earth and in spiritual world. And as you know, true parents went to spiritual world. True father went to spiritual world because people who died and went to spiritual world as a son of archangel, as a children of archangel, so they are all in the Cain's realm. So true father, true mother, true parents has to liberate all Cain's world in spiritual world. So father said so many things that he has to remove all kind of barriers and completely smooth the way. And also 2005, it was September 18th, when Hunjinim came down as a representative of true parents and as a representative of whole spiritual world, and gave a testimony. And then True Father also declared, I forgot the exact name, but anyway, heaven and earth, liberation and unification of Chuseok, something like that. I don't know exactly. But so as you know, when father went to Hunan prison, not Hunan prison, a prison in Pyongyang, that's where he met founder of Berry Church, and that was September 18th. I think 1946, if my correction is correct, but I'm not sure. And then she could not recognize who father was. So providence was, in a way, destroyed. Father has to eventually go to Hunan prison. And in order to restore that failure, 1974, True Father gave a speech, New Future of Christianity, in Madison Square Garden. That was 1974. I think Mr. Takenaka was there. And then it's completely reversed the failure of at that time. And then Hunjinim came, and Hunjinim declared that testimony of spiritual world and opened the gate to be able to connect spiritual world and the physical world freely, as long as we have a right kind of faith. So, but now we're supposed to liberation of a spiritual world and liberation of 430 couple blessing, both vertical and horizontal. But I think, to be very honest, and many of us feel a limitation. You feel you are ready to gain the victory? Please raise your hand. Just check. Whoa, wonderful. Yes, I knew you did it. So one of the reasons is because there's a barrier. Barrier is blocking our hearts and our mind, and a kind of a sense of fear of failure, and the fear of rejection. But how then do we overcome these barriers? Like I have, I can't say the name, but I have some I really don't like. But that is a part of indemnity I carry, isn't it? Somehow, some reason, somewhere, either in my lifetime or before, there is something is causing not being able to understand and embrace or love that particular person or particular personality. So we all have a limit unless we gain victory, right? So, like, last year, I went to Las Vegas workshop, and it was so inspiring, and I pledged at that time, by the end of June, which is today, I will accomplish 430 blessed couple. But here I am. It's with that one. So there's a limitation of heart. Like a reason I feared failing was because I cannot love, I cannot represent true parents as I supposed to. So we do need to know essence of true parents, isn't it? Without knowing and experiencing and feeling vividly with true parents' life, love, and the lineage, how can we give that life and the lineage and love? So that essence, I don't think it's missing, but somewhere it's not growing the way I should be able to express or share with other people. So, Father said it is he built the highway. He made everything, all necessary condition to be able to, for us to succeed. So, excuse me. So for instance, when we compare what the Father has to do and what we have to do, it's definitely way easier because, as you know, when Father was in Hunan prison, of course, Father has to go to Hunan prison because of a failure of Christianity or inability to understand essence of true Father, who he was. So Christianity and the foundation of the world which God has prepared through 2,000 years was totally nullified, totally destroyed. So Father, as you know, Father took responsibility and went to Hunan prison. And the condition of Hunan prison was, as you all know, you cannot talk freely. You don't have basic free time. Somebody is always watching you. And so all father could do was using through spiritual world or just bowl of small portion of rice or like a dry powder. It was a truly like only few possessions he could physically share with prisoners. But in the worst condition, in such a place, true Father attracted eventually 12 disciples. And as you all know, during Father's prison time, so many people died. But in their deathbed, they called true Father and said, even I am about to die, but I had a happy life because I could meet you. You through, well, of course they didn't say, I don't know, Reverend Moon or Mr. Moon. So they could see who Father was, that very living, loving heart of true parents at that time. So true Father could exercise in worst condition of prison. And compared to that, like our tribal messiahship activity is a way, way easy, isn't it? If they say, well, get, get out from here, or I don't want to see you again. Well, but still, you could go back, and apologize or whatever. So somehow we have we have much easier way, but as long as spiritual world and God work through me, with me, then we can change people. I know I cannot change anybody, and I have a hard time to changing myself. So, but word of truth can change anything. What and real heart of true love, which true parents introduced to us and brought to us, could change anybody's heart. As we saw today's clips of mother's speech, what makes true parents is their true parents never get satisfied being able to rest until all of mankind to be restored. It's a big thing. It just can't imagine how to restore entire world and the billions of people in the spiritual world. It's such a huge thing. But because of their true parents, because they possess true love of God, they cannot rest until last person to be restored, come back to God and being blessed and have a blessed family, blessed husband and wife, and blessed children. Until everybody be able to get that true family, body of true family, true parents cannot rest. That's why true parents is true parents. So by inheriting with that quality of love and heart and the spirit, we will be able to become true tribal messiahship. So can you, next one. So here is one of speech. it's regarding with Cheon, what we have to be. So as Yoshie-san read, Cheon is a two-person to become one, right? So let me read. You should have mind and body unity within yourself. Father said, your spirit is one person. Your body is one person. Your spirit and the one body become one. It is the beginning of Cheon. And the body is body is horizontal and the mind is vertical. Together, they constitute an origin, division, union paradigms. However, since the body and the mind are separated from God and therefore divided from each other, the Unification Church is striving to unite them. This should be our first and the foremost goal in life. Achieving mind-body unity is a formation stage, origin, division, union paradigms. Achieving unity between husband and wife is a growth stage, origin, division, union paradigms. And then unity of parents and the children is a completion stage, origin, division, union paradigm. How do you call? Okay, thank you. And the next. So next one. Unless you accomplish this, you will not be able to go to heaven. This is something Father said prior to this. Even if your family has received the blessing, unless you attain this standard, when you go to the other world, I'm sorry, it was one I just read. When you go to the other world, you will not be able to go to the kingdom of heaven. Instead, you will go to paradise, and then you will have to go through further course of training. You must meet these requirements even if it takes thousands of years. In that case, a family paradise would have to come into existence. True parents took responsibility to prevent this eventuality by cleaning all the major obstacles, both vertically and horizontally. Therefore, you'll be able to surmount these hills as long as you center on true parents with absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience. For this to happen, June 14th, 1999, I made a proclamation of congratulating the parents of heaven and earth on their cosmic level victory. In doing so, I concluded everything. So true parents have concluded everything, and that providence of the preparation of Cheon prior to that originally started by True Mother, who became founder and the president of Women's Federation of World Peace, and went through all, I don't know, 160 nations all together, and each place True Mother went to, and the True Mother gained the victory. And then True Father declared the era of women. And from that time on, no longer Eve belonged to fallen world, but it was uplifted to completely stand as an object of God. So that the completion of true parents was realized, even though there's a vertical individual family and all these conditions was set, but it was done and completed. So it is now our task as true parents gain victory, and it is for us to inherit that realm of victory. So uh, this is the English translation of one of Cheon, and a little bit, well, how do you call? It's different. It's not. I think it's a limitation of translation, but anyway, I read. Father said this: a person who does not know about spiritual world is in the pitiful state, utterly pitiful. Knowing that I cannot scold individuals of this type, how would they go ahead and navigate along the path through layer upon layers of obstacles? When I go to the spiritual world, I'll create a great revolution there. I'll cut the way through the obstructions. And if a path is blocked, I'll set out that path or even bore a tunnel. People in the spiritual world are hoping I will come. When eventually I arrive there, thousands of years of history will be washed away. Those who did not know my teaching would be forgiven, but those who knows my teaching but pretended not to know them would have to take responsibility for what they have done. To the degree of the depth and the breadth width of their knowledge of heaven's lofty and precious perspective. Those who pretended not to know my teaching would have a harder time making up for their mistakes. So, Father is saying, as long as if we know, we have to work on it. We have to substantiate what do we know. So already our true parents made clear the way for us to be able to gain victory and to truly create not as a kind of a wishful hope, but as a reality, as we already said, one family under God, one family of whole universe, all become brothers and sisters under God as a parent, God and true parents as a parent. So, we may feel, so many limitations, but somehow through prayer and through knowing Father's speech, true Father said, I'm going to spiritual world one day. Even though you have experienced meeting with me, but that will go away. But word remain. So whenever you need to come back to, you can read, and that will continue for eternity. So vertically through Fundokhe and horizontally through tribal messiahship, and that tribal messiahship also include liberation of our ancestors of 430 generations. That sense of living and building kingdom of heaven become very real. It is not something like a kind of a face of Christian. One day, if you die, you may end in heaven. But it is in the reality, we can sense and we can live with that kind of life. So, I have to challenge you, including myself, all brothers, fathers, and sons. We need to unite with True Mother. We become completely one with True Mother. Then we can gain victory. And also, all these mothers and the sisters and the daughters need to unite true Father completely as one. But there's no other way without doing Hundokhe, starting a word of true parents, which was extremely clever act. We have already over 400 volume of True Parents Word. He intentionally left all these, every single word he have said, or maybe a few are not, but so we can trace back his life, his love, and his lineage, so we can inherit them completely, not somehow, not I did my best. No, the way God recognized, yes, you are victor. So let us strive to become one with true parents and gain victory and to liberate God, true parents, and ourselves and all mankind as well. And that's, you know, I just read the other day, there's a few, like a Japanese elite of graduates of Tokyo University are making all kinds of problems these days. Murder, accidents, and all kind of fornication to all kind of bad things. They are the one who has been leading Japan the society. And the father said, if we restore Tokyo University, Japan is restored, once father said. So these kind of leaders now start falling because of they could not completely identify what is good and what is evil, and what is roots of evil, what is a real source of love, what is a real source of truth and goodness. So somehow we are chosen. I don't know why God chose us, but we are chosen. And it is the greatest honor that we can represent true parents. So it's already half year of 2019 is over, and I really hope, not just hope, we need to act that to really see the fruits of your own, fruits of my own, centering on God, true parents, and mobilizing spiritual work. So let's pray. Heavenly parents, Father, we all know that true parents' victory is absolute and unchanging and eternal. Father, but yet we feel sometimes distance and even distance of heart. And but true parents gave us all necessary tools to be able to become substance of true love, true life, true lineage. So please guide us throughout the day with our utmost effort. By uniting with true parents, we can bring world peace. And it's literally peace start with me. Start with my mind and my body. And the unity of my mind and body is the key of starting place of peace. And we're supposed to become your dwelling place, and our family supposed to be the very place where you can rest. So please guide us that we will be able to become victorious as our true parents are. Please be with us and guide us and mobilize spiritual world and to gain victory day by day and see the result every day and being offered to you that fruits of your victory to heaven and be able to testify to the entire world and to truly bring a breakdown of spiritual world into heavenly world, Father. Father, so please guide each one of us. And as we start this new week, and we beseech you to be work with us, and our good spirit to work with us, and our ancestors to work with us, so that we may walk the right path and the right victorious path. And we would like to offer this report in the name of Mamoru Oyamada and in the name of all Breast Center family, Aju.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Oyamada. Okay, let's take a few moments for some silent reflection, and we'll take the offering at this time. Okay, so at this time we're going to have our announcements. Before we give our local announcements, we just want to give a few testimonies from the Las Vegas experience. Myself first, Yoko will be second, and I'm going to ask Chris Fox to come up. So, the invocation was the first part that we attended. That was really pretty incredible, actually. Reverend Roche, who's now the leader of ACLC, is incredibly charismatic and really able to unite together the clergy. It was really quite an experience. We had, there was about 1,000 people that attended, and probably half of them were ministers, and they're all just